Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to the Bristol Prepper channel. So today guys, we are talking about your skills and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. And what brought this on was I've been watching a TV show called 10,000 BC. I watched it last year and I just watched it this year. I don't watch it up to date, so I watch it, like I record it and then watch it later on. And what brought this on was I was thinking, pretty much, if you guys have never seen it, 10,000 BC is what it says in the name. So it's like a group of people that get put into, I think it's Bulgaria, a mass woodland, thousands and thousands of acres or whatever, and then they get put in there to live like cavemen did, 10,000 years ago, or 12,000 years ago, sorry. So yeah, they're put in there with nothing, pretty much, just with some leather, skin, clothing, and some basic Stone Age tools, and then they got to survive. And it's got me thinking about our skills in today, and the bushcraft community and survival community, and how we work. And I really think that lots of people get, and obviously myself included, fell into this hole of, we get so used to, especially the YouTube community, we get so used to buying gear, and we have all our gear and stuff like that, and then becoming used to that gear, becoming used to always having a ferro rod, a lighter, or something like that. And obviously we do practice the odd time of us not using it, and maybe practice an odd primitive skill here or there, but I don't think we push ourselves enough, to the limit of where we will be in that 10,000 BC situation where we have nothing, or getting to that point, So I don't know, one way you could do this is maybe your day trips out or your weekend trips out, each time take less and less gear. I know we all love our gear, me included. I love my gear, my knives and ferro rods and God knows what, all these different pieces of gear. I love all that stuff, and this will help you in a survival situation. Obviously this will, it could be the do or die, whether you live or die, but learning to do all these important survival skills and doing lots of different things without the gear, learn to do it with your bare hands, because it is doable, guys. We've done it, our ancestors have done it for thousands of years, so it is doable, and with basic primitive tools that you can find in your environment, and I think building down to that, and it sounds like a small feat, but I think it's a rather large one, being so in tune with the sort of world around you and with the wildlife around you and all your surroundings, and being able to really put those to full effectiveness and to full use, being able to do all the bits and pieces, lighting a fire without nothing. There's come to sit down. So cheeky of him. I don't know if you guys can see him in the frame. He's come to sit down. What has he got? He always gets stuff in his mouth. Yeah, so and being able to use all, like I said, all this stuff around you, and be able to light fires, basic stuff like that, build shelters, all that sort of stuff, but using the environment around you, using natural cordages. Sorry about that. Why is it every time we start filming, the phone rings? Bear's sat with us now. This time, yeah. Although he's off. Yeah. So what we were talking about, the primitive skills, and really, I think it's getting used to bringing yourself to where you're at a skill level where you can use nothing or practically nothing, And I think getting to that skill level, it would be a huge advantage. But I think what this video is kind of about, I think, is that we get too, especially in our community, we get too stuck in the rhythm of gear, and having loads of gear, having loads of different alternatives. One is none, two is one, all that sort of thing. And what happens if you don't have anything? And really getting yourself to where you're at the skill level where you don't get anything. Obviously, it will be a lot easier, quicker, when you do have stuff, but kind of get into that, and lots of people don't do that, kind of lose sight of that, and end up just gear hoarders. I'm obviously one of those. I'm sure many of you guys are as well. Just collecting all the gear, and having lots of it, and kind of losing your way a bit. And I think it's super important. Forgot his toy. I think it's super important, to be able to use those skills and have those skills in a survival situation. That was a huge flash. Anybody to see that flash? Would be thunder or lightning or some shit, I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, and also guys, like I said, if you haven't watched it yet, go check out. He's hitting the cat. Definitely thunder and lightning. Yeah guys, like I said earlier, when you guys haven't yet checked out 10,000 BC, check it out. It's on Channel 5 in England. I'm not sure if you American guys will be able to get hold of it, but you might be able to find it maybe on online somewhere. But yeah, if you're in England, it's on Channel 5. The series is about halfway through, but you can find it on the internet as well and on Catch Up and stuff like that. It's definitely worth a watch. Interesting, you know, gets you thinking about if you really didn't have nothing, how would you go, you know? Because obviously you've got the gear and all that, and you can survive with your gear, but when you're primitive and you haven't got anything, well, what would you do, you know? It's not necessarily the situation where you go in a sort of survival situation not having nothing, because obviously you could say, I'm always going to have my knife strapped to my hip. But it's in the situation where, I don't know, stuff runs out, you know, your knife goes blunt, or loads of different situations where you could have hardly anything or nothing. And being able to have those skills where you can use the materials around you, and not just for having nothing, just because you would have more options. Do you know what I mean? You'd have more options to work with. If you could use natural cordage, obviously you'd save your cordage for something more important, or something you'd get a little bit more longevity out of. Now he's decided to bite me whilst I'm filming. Kill my days. Yeah, guys. It's quite an interesting thought, obviously, and very in depth, and you can carry on all day about it, talking about what you can do, what you can't do, and all that sort of stuff. But I'm definitely going to crack on with it. I do trust my skills, and I do feel like I can rely on my skills. But obviously, you're never finished. You're always honing them, zeroing in on them, and getting better and better. You know, nobody's ever finished. Nobody's perfect. You know. Mary's deciding to come back up. What's he doing? Yeah, and really honing in on them, and really getting to the point where you can do something and muscle memory, and you can do it so much. You've done it so much where you cannot do it wrong. You know, you've just pounded it into yourself. And I think that is literally the only way. There's no secret way. There's no secret doing that. And then just research your natural environment. It's no good reading a book about the world when you live in Scotland. You know, you want to know your local area, your local surroundings, what your natural habitat is, what grows around your area, which doesn't, and what you can rely on, what you can eat, what you can't eat, what you can use for cordage, all that sort of stuff. You can buy books on it. Check it out on Amazon and stuff like that. You can buy books on it and stuff like that. About your natural environment and your trees that grow in the area, what different types of trees can be good for what can you make out of certain trees, loads of stuff like that. But this is what would add, all this stuff will build up to the fact of you being able to be totally self-sufficient with nothing, you know. Try it for a day, go for a day hike or a day trip into the woods or into your local, wherever you go, and practice your bushcraft skills. Go there for a day, just for a day, or an afternoon or a morning. Just go there and see how good you can do, or how well you can do with nothing, you know, just with the clothes on your back and nothing else. See how well you can get on, because obviously it's in us somewhere. We just got to find it, guys. We've done it for thousands of years, so it's in us somewhere. We just got to find it inside of us, and find that, and learn your shit, you know. Because back in the day, they knew all their shit like the back of their hand, you know. They knew all their trees, all their wildlife, everything, you know. They knew how to track, you know, to hunt. They knew everything. They lived on the land, you know. So if we can get a little bit more back to that, that will give us a massive, huge advantage in a SHTF situation or a bad situation. And I think the reason we talk about it so much, especially lately, is because at the moment it's so rocky, guys. What is going on at the moment? I haven't done a video on it just because there's so much to cover. But if you're still watching this video, hopefully you are. It's crazy at the moment. The economy's crazy. Massive rocky roads. If you listen to the government and watch the telly, then obviously you're kind of living behind glass, or whatever you want to say. You're like, the film's been pulled over your eyes, because they say it's doing really well, but when you look at everything in the real world, then you know it's not. You know, about all these prices going up and down with the oil and shit like that. That's going to have massive knock-on effects. The economy itself, we can't sustain owing ridiculous amounts of money. We can't even pay the interest back on it. Do you know what I mean? The economy, you just cannot stand up to it. And shit's going to go. Shit's going to fall. Shit's going to kick off and happen, you know. And this is when we can really look at these, to get a good idea, I think, of what situation in life would be like, is look at our life around us at the moment. If you look at stuff like Black Friday, or I don't know, all the different shopping days like that. Black Friday is a really good example. You look at that and look at stores, and look what people get, like, and that's just to buy stuff, just to buy fucking tellies and TVs, I don't know, sound systems, whatever shit is on offer. People go in there like savage animals and fighting, tough nail and claw at it until they get it, you know, and it's just carnage. If you don't believe me and you've never seen it before, go on YouTube, type in Black Friday fights or brawls or whatever. It's like that, you know. People are nowadays. What's been drowned into us is selfishness. We are so selfish as a whole. I think, you know, everything's me, and grab, take what you can get. You know, and that's not humanity's fault. That's just the way the government's gone, and it's been kind of bred into us, I guess. But if you look at that, that gives you a good instance. That's like not even a civil situation. That's just people because there's a good deal on. Imagine when there's no money, there's nothing. You know. Look at any sort of local riots you've had or local uproars and stuff like that. Look how bad that was, you know, like the London riots and stuff like that. And obviously they were up in Bristol as well and in the surrounding areas. Back a few years back when the big riots were happening, that was carnage. And that's not a civil situation. That's just people kicking off because some black kid got shot. You know, I'm not saying he shouldn't have got shot or not. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying some black kid got shot or something like that. Something happened, and then there was huge uproar. Riots for days, and London got obliterated. Obviously, so did, like I said, the surrounding cities and stuff like that, because it just spread out, you know. People saw the riots, but that's what happened. It wasn't safe, you know, massive problem. Shit got destroyed, burnt down, buildings were destroyed, you know, there was no law. So imagine that, but on a civil situation. Nowadays, people will just take. They will not stop to help. They will not do anything like that. I think if you watch stuff like The Walking Dead and stuff like that, when you see people and they're horrible and they're nasty and they're shooting each other, you know, and killing each other for anything, I think that gives a good example of what it would be like. I don't think it will be far from the truth. I'm not the zombies and stuff like that, but The Walking Dead gives a good example for what humans would be like. Nasty bastards, you know, taking shit and not worrying about anybody else. You will get the small few that will help. Will be nice, but as a whole, I think we're quite a selfish society, and it would be after carnage. Everybody would just taking what they get. But at the end of the day, it's not our fault. You know, they're just taking to help their family. You know, to feed their family or whatever. But it's carnage. So I think it's so important, especially like I said nowadays with these rocky times and stuff like that. Knowing your shit and knowing what you can rely on, and really putting your skills to the test, guys. Pushing yourself, testing yourself. If you're not pushing and testing yourself, there's no point of even doing it, I think. Every time I go out or try something new or test something or, you know, push my skills a little bit farther than I have before, just because then I'm always putting myself to the limit of knowing what I can do and what I can't do, you know, and pushing those limits and going even farther with it, becoming even better, relying on my skills that much more, and being that much more concrete and put into my system that I know what I'm doing. They will be so important in a civil situation. They would be priceless, you know. Skills outweigh gear and money and gold 1,000 to 1. You can't compare skills to gear. If you have the skills, you can make gear. If you have skills, you can survive. You know, gear is just to help to survive. Skills will make you survive. And this was so important. Anyway, guys, I've been rambling on this video and it's gone on for way too long. I don't want to title this video probably some rant or ramble about the economy and about your skills and stuff like that. But I hope you enjoyed it, and if you made it this far, you are an absolute legend, and my heart goes out to you. But that's all we've got time for today, guys. So if you've enjoyed it, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to this video. And I think I know you guys will have some, so please let me know in the comments what your thoughts are about what I've talked about today. But like I said, that's all I've got time for today. So please, as always, guys, stay prepared, and I'll catch you guys another day, another way.